ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Munsell, the producer and the host of this long-running program called Communicating Today. We've been on Channel 10 for a very long time. One of the longest running shows right here on this channel. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing show number 782 tonight with my wonderful guest, this nice gentleman sitting alongside of me over here, whom I will introduce to you in a moment. But before I do that, I would just want you folks to know that we come on 3 times every week. We come on every Wednesday evening in prime time at 8:30 p.m. We come on every Friday afternoon for you early birds at 6:30 in the morning, when you're probably driving to work and you're texting and you're emailing. You may not be able to see our show. But also for a third time on Sunday afternoon at 3:30. And so 3 times every week, show number 782. But before I go any further, I just want to take a very brief moment and dedicate this program, 782, to my beloved sweetheart, my wonderful wife, Dolores Dee Munsell, who passed away a couple of years ago. I miss you, honey. I love you. I can't wait to see you someday. But we have a very important show that we have to do tonight with my wonderful guest, and I will introduce him right now. He is sitting alongside of me here. This is Dr. Mohammed Hamzepour, and he is the chairman and the founder of a wonderful organization called the Iranian American Patriots, abbreviation IAP. And he's the founder, and we have some wonderful information that we want to give to you folks today about this terrific organization and the wonderful work that he's doing. But I just want to take one more moment for a brief introduction of our wonderful computer lady on our TV crew, our staff, of Allie Haggerty, who is celebrating a birthday. Not today, 2 days from today. She didn't tell me how old she's going to be, but Allie, thank you for the wonderful job you're doing on our computer for our show, and happy, wonderful birthday for you 2 days from today. God bless you. All right, Mohammed, this is all about your beautiful country of Iran. Is it Iran or Iran?
Actually, Iran is...
Iran.
That's right.
So I was pretty good.
That's right. You're very close.
One of the oldest countries in the world is Iran, which began a long, long time ago, over 7,000 years ago, and then eventually about 2,000 years ago, a great leader came to your country, a gentleman by the name of Cyrus the Great. He was your great leader, and he did wonderful things for Iran. Made him the great country, one of the great countries of the world back in that time, and for many, many centuries after that. And then things changed over the many centuries, and the wrong people got into power. There was a big revolution back in 1979, and the democratic constitutional government was overthrown, and a Islamic Republic government came into power in 1979, and for the past 40-some years, the wrong people have been ruling your beautiful, wonderful country of Iran. And Mohammed, you are not very happy about that situation, are you? You're not happy at all about what's going on in Iran today.
That's a very tough question.
That's a tough question.
That's a tough question.
And that's why you're here on our program.
That's right, exactly.
And you're here for the 3rd time.
That's right.
He was here twice before, folks, to tell us all about what's going on in his wonderful country of Iran and what he's going to try to do through his organization to try to change it and get rid of that bad government that's in there now, the Islamic State, and put a wonderful new government in there with wonderful new leaders. They're going to make Iran the great country that it used to be, and it can be again.
With no shadow of doubt. Let me just say first, I am very honored today for 3rd time with Mr. John Munsell, the producer of just this show, that I'm just going to be interviewed. And number 1. Number 2, I just would like to take opportunity to congratulate the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and with his esteemed legal team, that witch hunt, the witch hunt is over by being exonerated for all allegation that Democrat brought up against him.
Right.
Number one.
No collusion.
No collusion.
Right.
And second, just things that I would like to just raise everybody's attention. It's going to be congratulations to Netanyahu for the fifth time he became the Prime Minister of Israel. So these two congratulations goes to the shoulder of each, very proudly in the history of, let's say, this individual running the show of two different just part of the region. Yeah. So that's my just first statement that I would like to share with everybody. Yeah. And speaking of what I'm trying to do, I constantly just put my position into that right direction to change regime of Iran. That cancer at the stage chemotherapy for, I always said it must be removed. And now I can see that every moment that we are going to go forward, we are seeing the sign of that change is getting close. And what I do see now, speaking of taking back to the same scenario that we used to just have, and now that's going to be an honor for me to just announce to the audience of all around the globe that Iranian American Patriots got an obligation for the President of the United States who fulfilled his task in the last 2 years, equal to 18 years of success. We want to present, and I wanted to use his name, no longer his name in our just group body be called Donald J. Trump. Is going to be King Cyrus of the modern age. And based on that new name that we are going to represent him to the ears and eyes of the entire part of the globe, we are going to present this Cyrus the Great cylinder, which has been covered by 22% gold. And it wanted to be a small gift to all his effort that he is going to continue for next 6 years. Audience, remember, not take next 2 years, 6 years. So that's exactly what we are going to do on behalf of Iranian American Patriots today. Because we do have, without exaggeration, I don't want to be exact figure how many patriots that we have. The only thing that I know, according to just the different just reports that I received, millions of Sunnis around the neighboring countries, according to what I've been just receiving that just info, they are supporting our aim and goals because they believe in our strong position that we are going to remove this cancer at the stage chemotherapy for, as I always said, one way or another, with or without, that matter must be done. That's the matter of must, not should, not if, not probability or possibility. That's the degree of our determination, and we are going to accomplish that with no shadow of doubt.
And this beautiful display that you have here, Mohammed, is in honor of one of the greatest rulers of Iran, which used to be known as the country of Persia. And eventually, some centuries later, it became Iran, which it is today. And the great rule of Cyrus the Great was the great rule that the people of Iran and the people of Persia honored him, and they loved him. And he was a wonderful, great ruler, one of the greatest rulers in the history of mankind, of your great country. And you are going to give this memorial, this honor to our current President of the United States. You are going to present this to him in the Oval Office at the White House with honor and with distinction, and that is going to be a wonderful occasion. In fact, you were supposed to do it, I think, a couple of years ago, but we had some very bad weather that came up, and it had to be canceled. But now you're going to do it again sometime in the very near future. You will be at the Oval Office in the White House, and you will present this, and it will say, to the President of the United States of America, the Honorable Donald J. Trump, from the Iranian American Patriots, in honor of the great Cyrus the Great. 22-karat gold, and it will reside in the Oval Office in the White House. Congratulations. I can't wait to hear about when that presentation takes place. I would love to be a shadow in the wall there, just overseeing and overlooking that presentation. That's going to be a wonderful day.
I promise you, you're going to be invited, not in the shadow, right in front of the eyes of everybody, because you brought all this occasion for us to take that opportunity to be successful in our just mission. Thank you, John.
And millions of people fled your country in 1979 when the terrible revolution took place and the new Islamic State took over the government. And they've been running the government and the country just downward, downward, instead of raising it up on a high level like Cyrus the Great did when it was Persia. The country of Iran has been coming down, and the terrorism has taken place, and the economy has been going down, and people need to have food to eat. They need food on the table. They need a roof over their heads. They need a good, decent government. And they don't have that government today, and that's why you guys are in the picture around the world. The Iranian American Patriots are organized, several million of you, that someday soon, I don't know how soon, you don't know how soon, but someday soon, you guys are going to march back into Iran again, and you're going to make it the beautiful country that it used to be. And I'll be so proud of you when I hear that you do that. I'll be your biggest supporter after Donald Trump. He's your big supporter right now. And the United States of America and Israel and Saudi Arabia and some other wonderful countries that are supporting you and backing you up and want you to be successful. And I will be right behind them in the second row saying, congratulations, Mohammed, job well done.
Thank you, John, again. But, you know, another good news that I wanted to share with just, you know, your audience, that's going to be the taking back the embassy of Iran at Massachusetts Avenue. A month ago, I remember that Mr. Ryan Hooks, the special representative assigned by the State Department, came just on television and said, this is the embassy of Iran, and everything is just its own place. We are waiting for someone to get the key of this embassy and start our good relationship that we used to have 40 years ago with the country of Iran. So right after that message came from Honorable Ryan Hook. I just used that name because he is really a person, very distinguished person, that I met him a couple of weeks ago and submit him that regime change package here and told him that, sir, you remember that when you went in front of our embassy, you just, you know, said, I'm here to give the key. I just went right after you in front of the television, Iranian television and other television as well, to show the person that you wanted to give that key is here standing right in front of you. Got that authority on behalf of 88 million hostages in Iran that wanted to take that key and start that relationship with the country of USA that gave us a shelter in this country as a second homeland.
Wow.
So when I told him that, he just shook his just, you know, head, and then I said, I want to meet you in your office soon. So based on that facts, I just wanted to raise everybody's attention. Our goal is just every day, just is passing by, put us in a position of to take over the future leadership of a country that has been invaded by just what? Terrorist organization.
Yeah.
That actually this terrorist organization, I always said that, before we had one PLO under supervision of Yasser Arafat. Now we have many organizations under supervision of these maniacs run the show of leadership in our country, invaded our country, took hostage, and I am determined, John. I said that before, and I'm going to say again and again. I'm not going to give up this goal. I'm going to reach that goal one way or another to prove to my Iranian patriots we are going to take the safety and security of that region to make sure that everybody in every part of the globe, including the United States, not to have a surprise medication, which means any kind of terrorist activity in future. We have to eliminate all these groups, cliques of disturbance that I call.
Yeah.
That's my main goal. I pray to God that I'm going to accomplish.
And I just got the halfway warning, a little past the halfway warning, Mohammed. I got to go back to the camera for a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Munsell. This is called Communicating Today. We've been on Channel 10 for a very long time, one of the longest running shows on Channel 10. In fact, we are doing show number 782 tonight. We're way up in the hundreds of shows with a very, very special, wonderful guest, this wonderful gentleman sitting alongside of me here, Dr. Mohammed Hamzepour, who is the founder and the chairman of a wonderful organization called the Iranian American Patriots, dedicated to bringing sensibility and bringing government and bringing wonderful civility back to his beautiful, wonderful country of Iran, which has been taken over by the Islamic government, and they're ruining the country. The country has been going down, and he knows this country can come back and be the great country that it was once before, when it used to be a few thousand years one of the greatest countries in the world, called Persia, under Cyrus the great ruler of Persia at that time. So without further ado, I just want to let you folks know, and he putting up his Twitter account and his phone number and a couple of addresses and so forth. It'll be up on your screen periodically during the course of our program. If you want to get in touch with these wonderful people and help them and encourage them to win their beautiful country back again, the country of Iran, he would love to hear from you. And any support you might want to give their wonderful cause would be greatly appreciated. And there are phone numbers and a Twitter account and addresses and so forth where you can get in touch with the Iranian American Patriots that he represents. So that's my little message, Mohammed. And again, thank you. He's been on our program now for the third time. And if he gets a little excited about what he's talking about, you can see why, because he loves his country. He wants to take his country back again, and he promises he will take it back. It's just a matter of time, and the time keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter. The day is not too far off in the near future when he will get his wish, and he and his people will go back to Iran, and they'll win their country back again, make it a wonderful country like it used to be.
Thank you. But I want to say, without selfishness, John, I have to confess that Iranian American Patriots, IAP, is the only organization that has supported President Donald J. Trump from the beginning of his campaign and continue his full support until 2024, the end of his presidential term. And I hope to be recognized and considered as a selected opposition leader after 40 years of my extreme, non-stop efforts in respect to regime change in Iran by authorities who work with President of the United States. That's my just another goal that I'm going to add into our today's meeting. Yeah. And another things, I'm just telling you something actually, John, about this regime is going to be to the end of the collapse, because I always predicted economically this regime will be paralyzed. President of the United States has three, let's say, in my opinion, three sets of plans. Number one, economical war, which means today he announced that, actually Secretary of State and himself announced that no country would be allowed to deal with this, regime for oil, purchasing.
Yeah.
That's very important. And then the second thing is going to be what? Is going to be cyber attack. If it didn't work, that I'm sure that it will work, because we see that the uprising continuously with non-stop, opposed to, that was just, 1988. Actually, no, that's right, 1988.
Yeah,
that's right. It was stopped, unfortunately, but this time it won't stop because a lot of things is happening. The funds want to be frozen. Most of the military leaders are evacuating their powers when voluntarily escape and seeking asylum. We are seeing all this evidence every day. and I'm just getting very let's say assured of our goals would be accomplished with no shadow of doubts. And that's why when I do see that, that's the second option for the president. If the second option, for instance, if in case didn't work, it's going to be the third option. The third option is going to be the Navy SEALs, that actually they did the same thing to who? Bin Laden.
Bin Laden, yeah.
They are going to do the same tactic and the same mission for all those Revolutionary Guards. Yeah. Now their hand is tied up. Suddenly, I said that before, economical war will be the answer to just this symptom. Yeah. Which means they are going to go to their bank and wanted to apply whatever they had in their bank. The bank says, I'm sorry, no funds is available. Yeah. When the funds is not available, which means
the
they
country
are dead.
will dry up financially.
They are dead.
They're dead.
And that's why.
Dead in the water.
That's right. That's why they're trying to really show their muscle of strength that they have nothing left. Yeah. And that's why they are in a position of escaping everywhere that they try to go. Yeah. And that's exactly what I just predicted. And I just, believed in. And now I can see the consequences of all these predictions that I just made in my just own
And your beautiful country of Iran has gotten a terrible reputation as being a promoter of terrorism around, not only in Iran, but throughout the world. In fact, there was just a terrible incident. This just happened yesterday in a country here where I think over 200 people were killed. And it was a terrorist attack. And they're not quite sure who caused the terrorist attack, but it could have very well have been Al-Qaeda, it could have been Hamas, it could have been Hezbollah, it could have been the Taliban, it could have been anybody emanating from Iran, from your beautiful country.
Exactly.
And the United States government just recently declared the Revolutionary Guard, which is their primary military power in Iran, as a terrorist organization, promoting terrorism around not only in Iran, but throughout the world and throughout the Middle East, and causing unrest and uncomfort and discomfort and lack of peace and tranquility in the Middle East and many other countries, England and France and Spain and Australia and the United States and other places where terrorism is taking place. And a lot of that terrorism is coming from the government of Iran. And that's why you guys want to go in there and clean them out and get rid of them and bring good government and good people and good policies and honesty and decency and wonderful things back to Iran in the wonderful shadow of the beautiful country of Persia that it used to be a couple thousand years ago and still can be a great country even today when you guys put your hands on it, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Let me just add this very quickly. This is the first time in the history of the world's opinion makers that United States put the Iranian government and all those besieged group and everybody who just wanted to be militia, militant, connected to the just Islamic Republic of Iran as a terrorist organization, which means that's a very good political excuse for the President of the United States to take action seriously against that regime, because this is the first time a country all by itself became a terrorist country to the ears and eyes of everybody. And that's why our country, unfortunately, before I said that, our country was invaded by Russia and China. And now we do see that when Soleimani, I don't want to make that guy very just, important figure, because I hate even to use his name. But anyway, I have to. When Soleimani was kicked out from that 4 countries under his supervision to run the show of terrorists, Hamas, Hezbollah, and all those financed by the Iranian government, kicked out back to Iran and then become retired by force of the Ayatollah. And now what he did, he brought Hashadul Sha'abi, that's the organization, brought back as an excuse to save Khuzestan, the south part of Iran, due to the Mother Nature cause brought that rain and all those disastrous Mother Nature's just, problem. So, which means our country, other than just, those 2 countries I said, now became occupied by these Arabs, inviting by whom? That's Soleimani. And sooner or later, I'm just warning everybody, every Iranian, to be very alert. Enough is enough. We have to get rid of all these invaders. I remember that when we had a war for 8 years, bloody war, the Ayatollah just, had poison just, for his mouth and said that, I'm sorry that what it happened, wasted money, wasted human beings' life. And then now we can see that we are what? In that war, we tried to take every inches of our sovereignty back. Now our sovereignty has been occupied by this group. People of Iran enthusiastically should just come to the point that as a result of this revolution, because one thing I want to do, the day of Thanksgiving for Iran that we have here. We never had the day of Thanksgiving, which means what we had, we never appreciated the God. That what we had, we should just go forward and thanks him. Now I wanted to bring everybody's ears and eyes attention. We are after getting back our country from those hand of the cliques, terrorists. We are going to assign one day of our life, Thanksgiving Day. That's another mission of mine, other than those two things that I said before about other issue in second interview.
And guess what?
Yes.
I know you could keep going for another half hour, Mohammed, because you love your country. You want to take your country back. And I'm so proud of the work you're doing. But I just got the less than 2-minute warning, which means we're getting down toward the end of our show. And we got to start wrapping it up. And I just can't thank you enough. We're down to 1 minute, as a matter of fact, for coming on our program for the third time and doing a wonderful presentation about what you and your wonderful group, the Iranian American Patriots, spread around the globe. Wonderful patriots that love their country and they want to take Iran back again away from the terrorists. We wish you the best of luck. We wish you Godspeed. And I know that when you go to the White House, and sometime in the near future, and you go to the Oval Office and you present this beautiful presentation to our President Donald Trump before he is elected for the second term, and he will positively say, yes, I will support Iran. I will support the Iranian Patriots. I will support you, Dr. Hamzepour. Thank you for giving me this beautiful grip. The United States of America is on your side, and Israel is on your side, and all freedom-loving people are on your side. We want to see you win Iran back again, and you will sometime in the very near future. And I got to start thinking about closing out the show because it's getting down to the end. Thank you for watching our program, folks. You can see I had two enthusiastic guys talking about a great big problem in the world today, the terrorist country of Iran. He wants to win it back, and by golly, he will.
I will take it.
Amen. Thank you for watching our program, folks. Come back and see us again next week. We'll have another exciting, not as exciting as this show, but another...